I am Dr. S. Kanchana from Department of Management Studies. So today we are going to see about the topic contract, its essential elements and the types of contract. So as you all know, contract is an agreement made between two parties, but that is enforceable by law. So that is, to get into a contract, there are certain basic essential elements to be satisfied. So we will see about the essential elements of a contract. So the persons entering into a contract must be competent enough to enter into a contract. That is, they should have crossed 18 years of age, they should possess sound mind, and they are not disqualified by law. So these are the basic requirements for the persons entering into a contract. Similarly, to enter into a contract, there must be an offer made by a person and it should be accepted by another person. Then both the parties entering into a contract, they should have intention to enter into a contract and there should not be any compulsion. Similarly, the products, the goods, that is, they decide to enter into a contract, the goods they like to supply should be under lawful object and the consideration. Something in return should be given. Suppose a person is delivering goods to another person. So the goods to be considered should be lawful, and in return the other party has to pay something in return. That is, lawful consideration and object should be there. Similarly, both the parties should enter into a contract with free consent. That is, both the parties should give their free consent. Then the matter considered for a contract should be certain. It should be possible also. Then to enter into a contract, it should be written in writing. That is for recording purpose. Similarly, it should be registered. So these are the basic essential elements of a contract. So now let us see about the different types of contract. So we can classify the contract on different criteria. So based on the basis of enforceability, we can classify contract into valid contract, void contract, voidable contract, legal and unenforceable contract. Similarly, on the basis of formation, we can classify into express, implied and quasi contract. So on the basis of performance, we can classify as executed and executory. Similarly, on the basis of obligation, the contract can be classified into unilateral and bilateral. So let us see all these types in detail. So first, on the basis of enforceability, we have just classified into a valid contract. So valid contract is, if the contract satisfies all the basic essential elements, then we can say that contract as a valid contract. Then void contract. So void contract, let us see one example. That is, A and B, just they make a contract for 5 years. That is, and the process goes for 1 year. So after 1 year, the person in the contract, that is, the people entered into the contract. So due to certain reason, that is due to war, if the government has just the contract comes to an end due to certain reasons. So unfortunately, so we can say that contract is a void contract as it is not enforceable by law. Suppose automatically if the contract comes to an end, so it becomes a void contract. Similarly, voidable means if one party is not willing to enter the contract. Say for an example, A has accepted to deliver B some goods. Yes, B is just accepted to accept the goods for certain amount. But A, what he is saying is, he has increased the amount. So B is not accepting for this. But A is compelling B to get, that is to complete or to buy his goods. So in this case, the contract is voidable because contracts can't be made in compulsion. Both the parties should give their free consent. Then unenforceable contract, that is, where a contract is good in substance, but because of certain technical defect, it cannot be enforceable by law. So that is unenforceable contract. So for an example, we can say that is insurance policy. So insurance companies, they just give insurance policy, but if the policy given is without proper stamp duty, so it can't be just taken action by law. So that is not enforceable by law due to certain technical defects. So whatever the records we store, it should possess the proper required data. Similarly, illegal contract. Suppose the two parties entering into a contract, they have entered into the contract by fraud. So that is illegal. So if the government has banned certain goods, so A has accepted to deliver the banned goods by the government means then it is an illegal contract. So coming to the classification on the basis of formation. So on the basis of formation, we can classify as express and implied. Express contract is the contract should be expressed in writing. So for a contract, we need to be, that is, everything should be recorded in writing. So express, it is expressed in words. Similarly in writing, if it is expressed, that is express contract. Implied contract, suppose a person is entering into a hotel, so ordering for certain coffee or a tiffin. So what it is understood is that the food being ordered will be delivered to the person. It is an implied contract that when he eats those food being ordered, he will pay for it. So that is an implied contract. That is understood. No need to express in words. That is understood. Similarly, what is quasi-contract? Quasi means that is strictly it is not a contract as there is no intention of parties to enter into a contract. Suppose you have ordered food in Zomato or Swiggy. So the goods being ordered is delivered, the food delivered is delivered, but the person has delivered to the wrong person. So he has misplaced the goods order to another, that is the neighbor house. So accidentally what the neighbor has done is, he has consumed that food. So what will happen? So his neighbor will go and ask for that. So here the person who has used that contract, he is not intentionally getting into a contract. So by accident, food being delivered, he has consumed. So he can pay or may not pay for the food being consumed. So that is quasi-contract. It is not a contract as there is no intention of the parties. Similarly, on the basis of performance, we can classify into executed and executory. Executed means once a contract is completed, finished, that is executed. Say for an example, A has accepted to deliver B certain goods for 1 lakh of rupees. So for that B has accepted and he has made payment also. So B has made payment in advance of rupees 1 lakh. So A automatically would have delivered the goods. So this is completed. So that is executed contract. Executory means in process. The contract is not completed. So for an example, we can say A has booked a car in a car showroom. So that he has paid the amount also. So what the car company has said is they will deliver the car in 10 days. So here A has made payment but the delivery is not made. So it is in process. So that is executory. Then on the basis of obligation, we can just classify the contract into unilateral and bilateral. Unilateral means only one party has to perform his promise. So you could have seen certain examples, that is an advertisements in newspapers. That is, we will pay you 10,000 if you find our dog, Mr. Dog, like that. That is, if a person, he is making an ad in a paper, he will just give a reward for his last. If anyone finds the dog, he will be paid. So here only one person is involved. That is, he has to perform his promise. So anyone, if they find his dog, they will just give the dog so that A can give some reward. So this is unilateral. Bilateral means common contract. That is two parties. Two parties are involved in a contract, that is bilateral. So for an example, we can say A agrees to sell his car for rupees 5 lakhs. So what A just sells his car to B. B give 5 lakhs so that A delivers his car. So here both the parties are involved. But they have to satisfy the basic essential elements for a valid contract.